Yeah, thank you, everyone. It's really my pleasure to be among this community, and also my first time to join this forum. I I call myself an accidental entrepreneur, and I'll tell you the story why I call myself that. Today, as we discussed in the morning, what is personally very exciting to me is to hear that Wi-Fi is becoming a very integral or important technology as a last hop, which is going to enable the vision of digital India, smart cities, BharatNet. And the reason I am so excited about Wi-Fi taking such an important role in that bigger picture is because rolling back time, back in 1990, I was a computer science undergrad in IIT Kanpur, graduated, went to US, and started working on my PhD. And at that time, we were thinking that, hey, someday down the road, these desktop computers will go away, people will be using small devices, and there's no way we are going to be carrying Ethernet cable connecting into these devices. Won't it be cool if we can get rid of the Ethernet cable and transmit that packet over wireless? So these are the ideas we were toying with. And luck would have it, after finishing my PhD, I became part of the core team at IBM Research, which built the very first prototype of what we know today as Wi-Fi. So I was part of that small team. I did some work in the MAC protocol design, and that is the first picture that you see on the left, is the first version that we built on 900 megahertz frequency hopper wireless LAN. And then some of the design ideas were submitted to IEEE for standardization, and through collective work of some vendors, the IEEE 802.11 standard was released. And I'm sort of proud to sort of say that I had a little bit of a role to play in how the technology has evolved. And today, to see how far the technology has come, that what we were playing around with as a toy idea, a lab idea, has now grown so big globally that it's part of every laptop, every smartphone, and we are now sitting here to envision the future where it's going to be in every village, empowering people to connect to the internet. It is such an exciting idea, and personally for me, to sort of see that, how that little toy idea can potentially have a lasting impact on the lives of people. So in this background, what am I here to talk about? So I'm an entrepreneur. I was an academician, a professor at IIT Kanpur, left the job and started a company called Mojo Networks, which is built a technology, secure Wi-Fi technology, and we have been focused on sort of selling this in the North American, South Asia market until now. But looking at the opportunity in India, we are now very, very interested in bringing the technology to India. And I'm glad to share that Tejas Network, which is another great company that we heard about, Kumar Sivarajan, the founder, and I were housemates back in IBM. We used to cook food each other and feed to each other, so we sort of come from the same gene pool. He started an optical company, and I came back to India to start a Wi-Fi company. So it's really great to be part of the entrepreneurial ecosystem to catalyze some action. So I'm here to talk about some pleasant and some disruptive ideas. So let's begin. I think we got to pay attention to what is happening globally. Globally, there are certain new technology advances which are happening. And as we are architecting the architecture for smart Wi-Fi cities, for rural Wi-Fi, we got to sort of pay attention to what's happening. So the very first thing, there's a debate. If you try to build such mass-scale networks using controller boxes, my claim is that, well, it can be done, but it's going to be very ugly, extremely expensive, very hard to manage. And it's like, my co-founder gives me an idea that you can take a golf cart and drive it across the country. This can be done, but there are more efficient and smarter ways of transportation. So similarly, architecturally, if you look at how the technology has evolved, the controller architecture was architecture invented in early 2000. But now, with the advances in compute power, memory has become cheaper, more and more computation can move to the edge, and the management can be aggregated into the cloud. So you can build really massive scale management networks without having to throw controller boxes into the picture at all. And this is not just a concept or an idea. We have really done it. So I'm glad to share that we are the technology provider providing the supporting Reliance Jio's rollout of Wi-Fi throughout India. And close to about 100,000 access points have already been rolled out. About 1 million clients are using this network today, and close to about 100 terabyte of data is flowing through. This much of rapid rollout has already happened, whilst we are struggling to figure out how to accelerate these deployments. So what I'm saying is technology and the methods of doing it are available. We just got to figure out and sort of broaden our thinking to see how to really do it. And this, just to give you an idea, if you were to do controller versus cloud, how much is the difference in the amount of gear that you're going to throw at the problem? The second is cloud also gives you a vehicle to do big data analytics and AI and machine learning. And why it's important? Because we are used to seeing roads with potholes, which takes months and months to fix. And similarly, if you think of a nationwide Wi-Fi, and if it doesn't work, it's extremely important to build an architecture which can be troubleshooted, diagnosed very, very quickly. So the innovations in AI, embedding intelligence of a support engineer inside the box so that when there is a complaint, you proactively figure out and quickly resolve it is very, very critical. And these technologies do exist. And the cloud actually plays a very, very important role, that you can tap, intercept all these errors, messages, feed into the cloud, apply big data analytics, machine learning, and create a self-aware, intelligent cloud, which is giving you very highly resilient, highly reliable service. And the final trend, which is I think very, very important to also pay attention to, that for massive deployment of this scale, hardware today is becoming commoditized. And inside any sort of hardware device, it's all commodity chipset. So there is really no reason to have extreme high amounts of premium to be applied into procurement of hardware. It's possible to source sort of white label hardware directly. And in fact, if you look at how Googles and Facebooks of the world have built their data centers, they are actually promoting these forums like OCP, TIP, which are trying to disaggregate hardware and software so that you can bring down the cost of this entire system drastically. And finally, when you pull everything in the cloud and you provide open APIs through which you can tap the analytics data, it can unleash a tremendous amount of creativity and an ecosystem of developers and entrepreneurs who can build value-added service on top of it. And just to share an idea, imagine all colleges in the country have a cloud-based Wi-Fi, right? The same platform can empower students and faculty members to build very, very clever, smart applications, which is not possible with the way we are architecting our system. And this is an example of some real applications which are being built at IIT Bombay today. So for example, automatic attendance taking in the class. And I'm giving you a sampler so that similar smart application can be envisioned in the context of smart cities as well. So just to kind of conclude, it's possible to elevate the whole learning experience by transforming the infrastructure into an enablers of newer ideas, and not only in the context of colleges, but across BharatNet, smart cities, large enterprises, everything. And I'm glad to share that the technology which I already worked on many, many years ago is now beginning to evolve to a form where this may actually happen. And how we architect do it is in our hands. Thank you.